This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Introduction. People often exercise choice because human wants are infinite while the resources available are scarce. For the satisfaction of human wants to occur, there must be a relationship between the production of commodities and their corresponding pricing system. In the market, the forces of demand and supply determine the prices of goods and services. At the same time, the prices of goods and services affect demand and supply. In ordinary terms, demand refers to the desire or urge of purchasing commodities. In economic terms, however, demand is something beyond a plain desire. Demand in this sense represents a want supported by the power or capability to purchase. The law of demand. The law of demand asserts that all other factors are kept constant. The price and quantity demanded are inversely proportional. For instance, a company selling snacks may sell approximately 100,000 cookies at $1 each. If the company decreases the price of its cookies to 75 cents each, the number of cookies sold may increase to 115,000. On the other hand, if the company decides to increase the price per cookie to $1.25, the number of cookies sold may reduce to approximately 85,000. This can only apply when all other factors like customer preference are constant. In this regard, there are various assumptions made about the law of demand for the establishment of the price-demand relationship. These assumptions include assuming that the income of consumers does not change, there are no changes in preferences and tastes of consumers, prices of other goods remain constant, and there are no changes in the size and composition of the consumer population. A demand curve represents the effect of price on the quantity of goods and services demanded. In the demand curve, the quantity demanded lies on the horizontal axis while the price lies on the vertical axis. Any change in the price causes a shift along the demand curve. However, other factors can cause a shift in the demand curve other than price. These may include price alterations for complementary goods, consumer demand for alternate goods, and customer preferences. Even though it is evident that quantity demanded changes as the price of commodities changes, such a change varies from commodity to commodity. This means that the amount of change is not constant for all commodities. In this case, some goods and services respond more to changes in price while others respond less. The elasticity of demand explains the extent of the responsiveness of quantity demanded to changes in price. This means that the elasticity of demand explains further the relationship between price and demand. Factors affecting the demand for commodities. Various factors affect the demand for goods and services. The major factor is the price of goods and services. In most cases, the quantity of a product purchased by a customer depends on the price of that particular commodity. In this case, people are less willing to purchase a commodity when the price of such a commodity increases. On the other hand, customers will purchase a certain commodity in large volumes if the price of the commodity reduces. Another factor that influences the demand for commodities is the size of the income of customers. In general, consumers will buy more when their income increases and buy less when their income reduces. As the income of some people increases, their consumption increases, causing an increase in the demand for various commodities. For the goods which are superior and of good quality, the increase in income causes an increase in their demand. On the other hand, demand for inferior goods reduces with an increase in income levels. The number of buyers at a specific time also influences the demand for goods and services. For instance, the demand for stationery increases during the periods when the schools are opening. In addition, there is an increased demand for clothes and playing dolls for children during the holidays, especially the Christmas period. The demand for these goods, however, reduces when the holidays are over. Black Friday is a very important day in America, which influences the demand for commodities. Economists cite this day as the most important day of the year for the economy of the United States. During this day, Americans flock to shopping malls to purchase items and commodities for the Christmas celebrations. During this time, the demand for various commodities like electronics, children playing items, and clothes increase heavily. In addition, most traders reduce the prices of some commodities during this day, causing the demand to increase further. According to a survey by the National Retail Federation, NRF, some 152 million people purchase heavily discounted commodities during this day. Conclusion: the law of demand is an important concept in economics. It explains the relationship between the number of goods and services demanded and other factors including price, preferences, income, and number of buyers. Business owners and companies should take time to understand the law of demand and comprehend the various factors that may increase demand for their products. This will help them to maximize their sales since they will perfectly understand the market during specific periods. The understanding of the law of demand is also useful in determining the quantity of supply needed for a particular commodity. If you want to find more works like this essay on the law of demand and demand factors, head over to ivypanda.com. It has a collection of free samples with thousands of submissions covering virtually all academic subjects. No registration required to access it.